All of this brings us to story number 5 on our countdown: immigration moratorium. Let's discuss with a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, Congressman Randy Fine. Congressman, thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Your thoughts on what the president is doing?
Well, I support it 100%. Look, the fact of the matter is we have to ask ourselves the question of how many people are we going to let yell Allahu Akbar while they're killing people in the United States before we do something about it. We had this attack just a couple days ago, but 6 months ago, we had a Muslim from Egypt attack Jews in Colorado. We all remember 9/11. We see Muslims interrupting Black Friday shopping in New York yesterday. This has reached a crisis where we cannot let the suicidal empathy of letting people who hate our country invade it. It is time to deport all of these people, and I stand with the president while he does that.
I want you to take a listen to what the president said about migration to the United States.
We have no greater national security priority than ensuring that we have full control over the people that enter and remain in our country. For the most part, we don't want them.
Congressman, also Mayorkas, he has testified under oath that all of these Afghan nationals, that they were thoroughly vetted. Now we're learning that they are not being vetted, that it's almost impossible to properly vet these people. So what kind of responsibility, or repercussions should Joe Biden face, should Mayorkas face, the previous administration that allowed these people to come into our nation unvetted?
Well, let's talk about vetting. Vetting is a magical term that means if you just do enough research, you can know what's going on with people. But the fact of the matter is, you cannot know what is in someone's heart, and you cannot know what is in someone's mind. And when someone is coming from a country that practices Sharia, that calls for the death of Americans, I don't know what level of vetting will get to the bottom of the problem. The problem that we have is this: if you want to immigrate to the United States, you should share our values, you should love this country, you should want to assimilate, and you should want to add value from day one and not live off the dole. And the problem that we have had in our immigration system is we are letting in people who hate America, want to change it, do not want to assimilate, and can't wait to get on welfare. That's why we've got to strip all immigrant eligibility for all welfare programs. And frankly, we've just got to kick a lot of these people out of our country, send them home.
Right, we're incentivizing it, and there's also no follow-up, right? Because of course they can maybe answer all the right questions when they're coming in, but then if they do a follow-up, they see these people are not getting a job. They see maybe their social media posts that they hate America or don't want to do X, Y, and Z. Then do you agree that maybe there's no follow-up to when these people come in? President Trump said that once they're in, it's almost impossible to get them out, and that's the huge part of the problem here.
And that's why we've got to seal the border, not just to illegal immigration, I think, but to legal immigration at this point. And I think we need to deport everyone who comes from any of these countries that hates America, where we can't be confident that they share our values. We need to deport every illegal immigrant. And then I think we need to look at legal immigrants of the last 30 years and the people who lied to become citizens because they took an oath to America, yet many of them hate the country. This is the greatest threat facing our country right now. Tens of millions of people who we have allowed to invade the country, they all have to go home.
What do you think about what's happening in Texas? The fact that they want to set up this entire community just for Muslims, 1,000 homes. They want Sharia law there. We're hearing the Muslim call to prayer in Dearborn, Michigan, in suburban neighborhoods. I mean, we're talking about Midwest America, not church bells, not birds chirping, the Muslim call to prayer. The America we knew and loved, it's radically transforming right before our very eyes, and nobody's doing anything really about it. Except for President Trump.
I've filed a bill called the No Sharia Act that would ban all of this stuff. And I hope that everyone will sign on to it and support me in passing it. And I think we need to speak loudly and clearly. You should not be able to play the call to prayer at 3:30 in the morning in Minneapolis. A Muslim mayor in Dearborn should not be able to tell a Christian preacher that he is not welcome there. The kind of hate that you can find at so many of these mosques around the United States, it's simply unbelievable. And so we've got to say, people do not have the right to come to America. If you don't share our values, don't come here. And if you're here already, send them home. The left is doing this by design. They want to invade the country. They want to destroy the country from within. That's how Mamdani got elected. He did not get elected from natural born citizens. He got elected by people who just came here and do not share our values. We have got to stop with the suicidal empathy of letting these people in who simply hate this country. And the other thing we can do is we can tell them no free stuff. I've got that bill too. No welfare of any kind to not only illegal immigrants, but legal immigrants as well. If you're coming here for free stuff, stay at home. Look at the percentage of the Somalians getting free stuff. It's unbelievable. Regular Americans should not be paying for any of this.
I mean, my parents, they fled a communist country to come to this country. I remember my uncle had to be kind of the guarantor because then if they couldn't pay their own way, then they couldn't be a responsibility of the government. And then my uncle would have to. I mean, you know, back in the day, that's what was done. That's how you came to this country. And so what happened to all of that? What happened to people not relying on the government? Because I think, to your point, if you take that away, if you take away the government teat, right, and they're not allowed to suckle on that anymore and suck the taxpayer dry, then you take away the incentive to come here.
Well, my grandparents were the same way. They had to have someone guarantee them. I think what happened is the left realized in order to fundamentally change the country, they had to bring a different kind of person in, someone who could not be financially guaranteed, someone who did not share American values, someone who thought America was bad and not good. And whether it's Ilhan Omar or Mamdani, you can see we've imported a generation of people who hate the country they have come to. We've got to send all of them home.
And then you have these white woke liberals that are actually voting against their own interests, supporting these people. We saw it happen here with the election of Mamdani. It's incredible. Congressman Randy Fine, sir, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thanks for having me.